Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Justin Hughes. We're here live at the Hail Palace. We have a significant risk of severe weather today. We will kind of dive into the details on that as we get further along in the forecast. There's already a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch, issued for the southeast, basically all of Mississippi, northern, and basically all of Louisiana and Mississippi. But I'll dive into those details here in a second. But first, we're going to go through some of the current events that we have coming up. I'll talk about Cyber Week, how you can save this week all the way through Friday. And then, like I just mentioned, the southeast storms are starting. Tornado watch has already been issued. Tornado warnings have already been issued. So we will dive into those details here in a little bit. And then we're also watching tomorrow as well as that cold front and storm system moves to the south and east. So first, let's start off with our Cyber Monday flash sale. Like I said, this goes all week. It started yesterday and it will go all the way through Friday. 15% off annual subscriptions and renewals. So if you are a current customer and that has a renewal that's before February 28th, you can take advantage of these savings. If you're a new customer, obviously you get these savings. So give us a call, 855-334-4245, or reach out to your customer success specialist to see if you qualify for this. If you're already a current customer, I know a lot of monthly customers have switched to this annual deal. You'll save a lot of money. You won't have to worry about keeping your credit card up to date. So reach out to us, give us a call, click us, whatever it may be. Reach out and take advantage of this because you don't want to miss out. We don't normally offer this type of discount any time of the year. So always a good deal. And then let's move into HailTrace 4.0. Last time that I saw you, I said that there was not a date yet. There's still not a date yet. I apologize. But we are getting closer. We should have a date probably in the next couple of weeks. Don't quote me on that. That's just how things work and whenever you work with software. But we're hoping to have a date out in the next few weeks. We're really excited what HailTrace 4.0 has to offer. So if you do take advantage of the Cyber Monday deal, or if you're already a customer, there's some really cool stuff coming with HailTrace 4.0. Whenever that launches, I'll probably be back up here going over specifics and kind of what's different. It will be a lot different, but it will be incredibly, the UI and the interface on all of it is just, it looks amazing. So we're really excited to pump this out to you guys. And then the Mastering Documentation class. This is John Senak's class. If you don't know who John Senak is, he has a wealth of knowledge in the industry. He will be right here at our office, December 15th on the 3rd floor. If you're in the Oklahoma City or Oklahoma area, make sure not to miss out on this class. It's one of his last ones of the year. I'll be here. We'll have some other partners here. We'll have Company Cam. I think we'll have Beacon. We'll have a lot of really good industry people here that you can talk to and you'll get knowledge from. You'll not only get to hear John speak about how he, his documentation process. You'll get to hear me speak and then some other people about how the software is changing the roofing industry. So don't miss out on that. You can scan that QR code or you can give us a call or reach out to me, actually, justin@hailtrace.com if you want to get signed up for that. It's going to be a great class. We're looking forward to it. So let's move into our current conditions. Obviously, I think the Front Range had some snow. There's a cold front sweeping through, which is going to be the main focal point of the severe weather today. And so let's zoom in here. You can already see this is that particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch that was just issued, I think like 5 minutes before I got on here. 95% chance of 2 more tornadoes. They are, the Storm Prediction Center does believe this is going to be, has the chance to be the setup for a tornado outbreak. So there's already a tornado warning down here just to the north and west of New Orleans. But we will be watching this area as we head into the afternoon. Anytime you get a PDS tornado watch, it's something that you want to take seriously. So if you're anywhere in this yellow, you definitely want to be paying attention to the weather this afternoon. And then obviously, if we get anything in this area, we'll be going live. So we'll be watching it, and I'll have more on like the particular risk for hail and wind and whatnot here in a second. So current temperatures, like I said, there's a cold front crashing in to the southern plains. It already came through the office here in Edmond, Oklahoma. That thing will accelerate and be out into the Gulf by, I think, late tomorrow, I believe. But really cold air behind it, warm, moist air in front of it. Normally a setup you don't quite see this time of year, but I mean in the southeast, anything's possible. So the cold front is common, not a PDS tornado watch the last week of November, but the southeast is where we would most likely see that this time of year. So let's go ahead and look at the cold front tracker. Like I said, it's tracking through Oklahoma, Texas, all the way over into Tennessee. It's going to be off and into the Gulf by tomorrow at 6 p.m. So it will be Florida, like always, will be the only warm spot by the time we get to 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then let's check out our current dew point. So as you can see in front of the storm system, we got this rich, moist air that is coming up from the Gulf. We have dew points that range from 73 to 70, almost 60 up in Memphis. So very, very moist air mass that these storms have to work with today, which is going to be a fuel for any sort of storms that get going later on today. You can see where the PDS Tornado Watch was issued. Very moist conditions are there for very dangerous storms as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. So we're going to get into our CAPE. So this is basically the energy in the atmosphere that is available. So as we move it through, this is at 2 p.m. today. You can see that it works its way up and kind of dies off as the sun goes down. And then the cold front sweeps it out into the Gulf by the time we get to tomorrow. But you saw those enhanced values over here where the tornado watch was issued. As expected, we have the upper levels are right. We got the more moist air. We have CAPE. Everything in that area is setting up to be a pretty active day. So speaking to that, let's go ahead and look at the future radar. This is going to be for 2 p.m. and that's in about an hour and a half from now. You can start seeing, we already have these, some of these cells have already fired. You know, there was that tornado warning down by New Orleans. As you can see, they are starting to pick up in frequency and coverage. And as we head into the evening hours, you can start to see these bigger ones that pop up in Mississippi, northern Louisiana, and these can be long track supercells. Anytime that you see these, it's a high-res model, so these are picking up on some pretty big thunderstorms that can last for miles and miles and miles. That's not necessarily something that we want to see on a day with the conditions like we have, but models are picking up on that, and that will be one of the few things that we're watching today is the potential for long track tornadoes, possibly violent tornadoes. So make sure to stay up to date, whether it's with us or your local news providers, because you will want to be weather aware if you're in this area. And then as we move it through 9:30 p.m., you can see the activity has kind of moved a little bit off into northern Alabama, but we still have some stuff back here that I imagine this is the cold front that is starting to fire along the cold front, but everything's starting to shift to the south and east as we head into the late evening and overnight hours. So I will push this through 2 a.m. You can kind of see storms are pushing off. I think this is a cold front that is firing off more storms. We still have some storms out in front of it. At this point, this will probably be mainly a wind event. There might be some embedded tornadoes within this line, something you always have to watch for, especially given the parameters today. But at this point, mostly a wind threat. I bet you the hail threat's not non-existent, but a lot lower as we head into the overnight hours. And then we will push it through tomorrow morning. That cold front continues to dive to the south and east. It's already exited New Orleans. It's approaching already through Atlanta, approaching the southern Georgia and Florida Panhandle. That's what I was trying to say. And then, so let's look at today's severe weather threats. So we have it pretty high just for the overall severe weather risk. Tornado risk, high. Hail risk, high. Flooding risk, low. And then high winds is moderate. Really, these three things are what we're going to have to focus on today, especially, like I said, the tornado risk is enhanced for any day of the year, especially for this time of year, with that PDS Tornado Watch already being out. That kind of verifies this forecast that Andrea put together for me. And so let's look at today's max hail size. We are going to go with hen egg, that's 2-inch hail. If we can get some more isolated stuff, you might get a couple bigger stones than 2-inch, but we're gonna stick around with the hen egg size as we head into these storms. The more isolated, the better chance for hail. So we'll just kind of have to play it by ear and see, but that's what we're going with for the hail forecast today. And then for the actual areas we anticipate the hail to be occurring is going to be anywhere we highlight. So we have a slight risk for at least some 1-inch stones all the way up from the Ohio River Valley all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. So overall, the hail risk is a very, it's a pretty large area today, but we really want to focus in on basically where that PDS tornado watch is, because those are going to be the storms that have the best potential to produce large hail. We have Jackson, that will be, we have that highlighted as the city that we think has the best chance to see 2-inch hail. Anywhere in this red has the best chance. Down in New Orleans, we, you know, a low chance for them. Shreveport, the risk will be quick, because once that cold front and everything cuts through there, that will be but we do have Shreveport as moderate, Little Rock moderate, Memphis moderate, and then as we head into the overnight, Birmingham, Alabama moderate, and all the way up to Louisville. Yeah, I know, Andrew, I did not say that the way that you wanted me to, but I'm not going to try to say it on live air. So, but again, all the way up from the Ohio River Valley, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico today. Very substantial hail risk. And then let's dive into the actual wind forecast. So when we say wind, we are talking about straight line winds, you know, normal thunderstorm winds, but we are also including tornadoes. And so we hatched this area, which is basically where that tornado watch was issued. Anytime you see a hatch, which means that it's going to be the most significant risk. So highlighted down there, Jackson, you're under the gun again. So not only for hail, for tornadoes. I would be especially concerned if you're anywhere in this hatched risk. All the way up to southern, you know, maybe Memphis, and then just north of Louisiana. I would say the majority of Mississippi needs to be on the lookout and make sure that you're weather aware as we head into today. This is more of a tornado risk opposed to more of a straight line risk. So it could be very, very dangerous later today, and make sure that you are aware of that if you're in the south. And then we'll jump forward. Again, Louisville, I know I'm not saying that right. And then, so a low wind risk, Nashville, moderate, you know, Memphis, moderate. And so these, up here, the tornado risk is significantly lower. This will probably be more of just their traditional thunderstorm winds, but nothing is out of the question when you have such a strong storm system like the one we have today. And so let's move the future radar through tomorrow. And as you can see, that cold front's diving south by 11:30 a.m. The storms are approaching Jacksonville, already off the coast, the panhandle of Florida. And as you can see, it keeps going on by. And by 5 p.m. tomorrow, it is the storms are almost basically off the coast and a non-factor at that point. So 5 p.m. tomorrow, that thing will be almost way out in the Gulf. So tomorrow's wind forecast. Tomorrow will be mainly a wind risk day. It will be anywhere that I just saw on that future radar. The storms will probably be more in linear, so the wind threat will be there and the hail threat probably will not be. So let's point out some cities real quick. There will be a tornado risk. You know, again, it won't be as significant as today, but you know, anywhere from all the way from New Orleans, Mobile, Atlanta, Savannah, you know, Macon, Georgia, like all those different towns in there. We'll have a wind risk tomorrow. And then on the lower end side, again, tomorrow will not be as impactful as today, but it's still something to watch for if you live in those areas. Again, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to favorite us on Facebook so you can get those notifications when we go live. And then, as always, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245, info@hailtrace.com, and then www.hailtrace.com. Make sure to stay up to date with your weather if you are living in the southeast. As always, if anything goes, if the storms do pick up and are going through populated areas, expect us to be back on here, keeping you updated. And so thanks for watching, and we hope that we don't have to jump on here and do some tornado coverage later, but the possibility is there. So thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.